Department. I want to bring in Congressman Mike Turner of Ohio. He is the top Republican on the Intelligence Committee, and he sent a letter to the FBI director calling on him to explain his decision to authorize the search. Hi, Congressman. Thanks for coming on. So you still haven't heard back from the FBI from this letter you sent. What are next steps if you don't hear back?
Well, we've already begun to ask for additional documentation. Our first letter to Director Wray was to ask him what national security risk rose to the level of him ordering a raid on the former president's home. I mean, this is unprecedented, and in history, we have never seen two members of a president's administration order a raid on the president's political rival, his former opponent, and perhaps potential opponent in the past, president of the United States. Certainly, whatever they're searching for must rise to the level of a national security threat for the director to have ordered a raid on his home. But we've asked, in addition, we want to see, reportedly, this is about the archivist sending over a criminal referral. We want to see what that is. We also want to see what Christopher Wray filed in court, what he said to the court that he was going to find there. We want an inventory of what they found. Obviously, we've been told in reports and even personal materials of the president were taken. What were they looking for? What did they find? And what did they tell the court that they were looking for?
Right. There's still a lot that we are hoping to learn. But if Republicans win the majority in the midterms, what would oversight look like?
Well, the American public are going to require, obviously, a review here. You can't just have two men who are in the Biden administration go after the president's political rival and not have the type of scrutiny that is going to be necessary here. We need to make certain that appropriate laws were followed. We need to make certain that these two gentlemen are held to oversight. And the American public wants to know. I mean, we obviously have two different standards here. Where Hillary Clinton
I just want to stop you really.
Hold on a second.
Go ahead.
We have two standards where we have Hillary Clinton with her own computer system and classified information on it being given a subpoena, an ability to go through that server to see whether or not it's personal material or official material, and this president, not a Secretary of State, being raided. Clearly two different standards, and we want to know why.
Well, hold on a second, though, because when it comes to Secretary Clinton, and there's a lot to break down from what you just said, but let's go to the last part. Secretary Clinton, you, at the time, indicated that you were outraged by her, the way she handled her classified information, saying, quote, Secretary Clinton can be held accountable for her extremely careless actions. So why don't you share that same concern with Donald Trump, who is now a private citizen, taking 15 boxes of documents from the White House, including classified documents, to the White House, to his private residence? Why was it concerning for you with Hillary Clinton and not now with Donald Trump?
Sure. Well, there are two different things. When Hillary Clinton, while she was Secretary of State, had classified material about her classified communications traveling through her computer server in her house, putting it at risk for any counterintelligence or any others who are hacking into her materials, putting United States materials at risk. In this instance, we don't really know that these informations are classified. The archivist saying that something is labeled classified doesn't mean that it is. We have to look at the substance of what the president has. These aren't ongoing communications of the United States and the ongoing United States diplomacy matters that Hillary Clinton was conducting through her home. And also the president of the United States, unlike Hillary Clinton, has the ability to declassify those materials. So you don't really know what the status of these materials are. That's why the FBI director needs to tell the American public, what did he go after? Certainly, there must be something higher on the national security level for him to do this. Remember, President Trump has more classified material in his head than he's going to have in his desk. But yet they raided his home to see what he had in his desk. I think the American public want answers.
They executed a search warrant that was signed off by a judge who clearly found probable cause. But really quick, and I want to talk more about that. But, earlier in the conversation, you were talking about, you were claiming that DOJ is basically going after the president's political rival. But I mean, Donald Trump, there is example after example. I think there's like 25 examples of him when he was president trying to weaponize DOJ to go after his political rivals. So why do you feel like there should be more scrutiny now on DOJ and not also, and we see it on the screen here as well, not also share that same concern back then when Trump was trying to go after his
Well,
political
I have
rivals.
actually shared it. Actually, this actually goes back all the way to the Obama-Biden administration, where this Clapper, Brennan, Comey, where they began the politicalization of the FBI and of the Department of Justice, and that where we saw the two standards, where Hillary Clinton was given a pass and other people who were in the military were not. And certainly then you had Donald Trump, who continued to raise that issue of what were these two standards? Why was he being pursued? And as you even know today, the New York Times has reported that even the Russia dossier that the Department of Justice used to justify FISA TAP warrants was found to be totally not even factual. So there's a number of things obviously the president was very concerned about that were ongoing during his administration, and certainly we're seeing them now also continue in this administration.
But there were examples of 25 times where he wanted to use the DOJ to go after political rivals, some with absolutely no evidence at all to support wanting to use DOJ and weaponizing it for that reason. But I do want to go back and just talk about, you share concern, that, like a lot of Republicans do, that saying that this is FBI overreach. But again, this was a search warrant that was executed after a federal judge signed off finding probable cause. So is your issue with how, the criminal justice system works? I mean, what is it exactly?
Pamela, right. So this is actually very easy, and you and I were discussing this before. This has never been done in our history.
That is true.
To a former president, a political rival of the sitting president. Remember, these two gentlemen ran against each other, and Donald Trump has said he might run against Biden even now, and Biden said he might run. We'll have to see whether or not he does. This is an absolute political rival of the sitting president. Now, we don't know what they said. So you think DOJ
is just going after?
We don't know.
Hold on, I want to be clear.
We don't know what they said.
Hold on, Congressman, and I'm trying to give you the time to convey what you want to convey, but I want to be very clear here.
Sure.
What you were trying to say is you believe that the Justice Department under President Biden is trying to go after his political rival, Donald Trump, because of 2024. I mean, is that what you're trying to say here?
No, Pamela,
Okay.
I didn't say that. Thanks for trying to put words in my mouth. I
did not try to. I'm trying to clarify to make sure that we understand.
What I said was they need to answer these questions. There better be something of important national security for them to have breached the confidence of the American public if they would go into the home of a past president, possible political candidate against this current president. This is so outrageous that this has to rise to the level of this better not be a clerical issue between the archivist and the former president. Even former New York Governor Cuomo has said the same thing. I'm saying on your show is that this better not be some clerical issue or some minor issue that the FBI has gone in. And that's why we're asking, as the Intelligence Committee, we're in charge of classified material. We're in charge of the issue of the national security issues and secrets of the United States. If they're going into this man's house claiming that it's national security that brought them in, then they deserve to tell us. They deserve oversight. They deserve to answer the American public why a political rival of this president had FBI agents raid his home.
Well, and just to be clear, I was not putting words in your mouth. I was clarifying because you keep bringing up political rival. So I was trying to get at what the significance of that would be and the relevance here of that would be. Okay. All right, Republican Congressman Mike Turner, look, I really appreciate you coming on the show, sharing your point of view on this. We're going to be covering this for quite some time, and please let us know if you hear back from the FBI on that letter. Well, Republican Senator Lindsey